get started on the stuff. There we go. Yay! It's time to draw! Finally! Oh, yeah, you do that. That's important. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. You are indeed the first. I need to get into my little reference stuff here. My reference stuff. I hope that you are doing well. Oops, this is clipping mask. And this is the correct brush. Alright, we're gonna start with some stuff here. Actually, I kind of wonder I should probably take off the character-based sketches because I don't think we need those yet. Let's focus on this stuff. Ads! Ads! Terror of ads. And we will try and blend some of this stuff together. If you subscribe, there will be no ads. It will be as if they never existed. Farewell to ads. And all of their silliness. Okie dokie. Now we're going back into the regular brushes. Yes, an Undertale drawing. I'm like, the 8th anniversary is coming up. I should do something for that. I'm gonna do something for that. I know I don't do that much Undertale stuff anymore, but I'm like, I should do something for the anniversary at least. That's very important. So that's what's happening. We are doing stuff for the anniversary. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. That's no good. Maybe we should mess up the colors a little bit here. Trying to make this vaguely that kind of thing. But yes, just watching along, even if you can't subscribe, just watching is good too. I super appreciate it. Yeah, we'll see how I do with some painting here. I haven't painted in a while. I'm always so used to doing very fast color stuff. So doing something a little bit more polished, finished looking might be nice. I'm gonna try and take this down a little bit and see what I'm doing. Yeah. I mean, there's probably other ways you can get around it. I'm not sure exactly what those are, but I hear tell they exist, so I'm sure they're around somewhere. Goodness knows, I don't know how I could do a lot of YouTube without ad blocker. Like, I don't have it on my iPad or whatever, and I listen to YouTube stuff on my iPad while I'm, like, walking around the house doing chores and stuff with headphones on. And sometimes the ads are just relentless. Absolutely relentless. Let's see. It sucks how much you have to have ad blocker to get by these days. Not be just bombarded. Absolutely bombarded, and I'm just trying to do my thing. I guess they've always been that way, in some way or another. A little bit over here. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. Welcome from Tumblr. Why is that squashed so badly? I think I saved that wrong. Sheesh. A little bit awry. That's okay. Yeah, I'm working on an anniversary pic because the 8th anniversary is coming up, and I'm like, I like doing art for those anniversaries. I should do that more often. So that's what's happening here. Rare instance of me actually coloring stuff. I don't know how people do like these really nicely painted like paintings and such. I'm like, I don't have the patience for that anymore. Doing storyboarding killed my patience. Which stinks. No, that was back in my day too. I don't know if they were really entertaining, but they did exist. And there was no escaping them, that is true. It's like, oh, you didn't want to have ads? Too bad. You have ads. And we found ways to escape them ever, and they've been mad ever since. They've been angry. Should I zoom in a little bit? I'm not. It's hard to keep track of where everything is here sometimes. Yeah, I always like putting out a big base thing first, and then just coloring in the lines with that. It's nice. Something about snow over there, so let's get turn into that one. Back in my day, we watched ads uphill, both ways in the snow. And we liked it. We didn't like it. It sucked. Get rid of this. Softer color thing going on. I'm going to help to get rid of that a little bit too. I do have taper. No, I have that somewhere. I wonder how much of this I should do. Whole store. That is true. Like back in the day, you'd have like these big like space operas with like serial mascots getting involved in intergalactic conflicts and whatever. That's like, what's gonna happen? Tune in next time to find out. It's like, what do you mean tune in next time? This is a commercial. I don't know when it's gonna come back on again. I guess they might keep watching this channel. But yeah, no kidding. They have these giant things going on. It was nuts. One of the goldfish has the same name. What were the names of the goldfish again? I'm trying to remember. And a goldfish named IQ. I feel like I don't remember the goldfish story. I remember like stuff with like Captain Crunch, and there's like big stuff Toucan Sam was doing. What was he up to? Why would you suck the goldfish up with a vacuum? Why would you do that? I'm trying to remember the names of all the goldfish. I know they had a bunch of different names, but I don't remember them all. Some very catchy themes as well, like you'll get caught up in the crossfire. Yeah, they have a unicorn now. I actually had Lucky Charms this morning. I was like, oh, Lucky Charms are on sale. I want some Lucky Charms, so I got some. And apparently the gimmick this box has is magical appearing dragons. So it's marshmallows that, you know, when you put them in milk, they'll changed their colors a bit. And this is supposed to be dragons. They don't really look like dragons. They don't really. I guess if you kind of squint, but I'm like, this isn't much of a dragon. It looks not much different from the unicorn, which I think was the first one. They had like magical appearing unicorns, and it's barely a thing. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. Not quite sure how toony or smoothed out I should do this stuff. Thank you! Thank you so much! I'm glad that you like it. Also, I still need to do stuff with those dang channel points. I feel like I was going to do something with them where, like, if you put in enough, you can get, like, little doodle, and I'll add it to a big doodle page. Like a doodle I can do in, like, 2 minutes kind of thing. But, I need to work that out. Yeah, I remember Cookie Crisp having a lot of different mascots. Like, now it's some wolf. When I was growing up, it was basically, like, cops and robbers. There was, like, the policeman chasing the cookie crook and his cookie dog. I don't know why they got to like a wolf. I'm not sure how that follows. Cookie Jarvis, Cookie Crook and the Cop, Chip the dog, and Chip the wolf. Okay, I guess that's the evolution of it. When I first was introduced, it was Cookie Crook and the Cop, and then they added like the dog with the crook. He was like his crook dog. And then I think they just got rid of the cop and the robber, and it was just the dog. And then they made him a wolf. For reasons. What those reasons are, I don't know. Yeah, I would need to change them to change the thing for channel points. I'm not sure if I can yet. Like, I know you can do it in certain stages, but I need to see if I can be able to do that, and if so, I need to figure out what I'm going to change them to. What would be a little doobly-doo. It's got 400 points, what'd I do? Oh, you talked, I guess. The dog got a fursona. But it's already a dog. It doesn't need a fursona. You are furry already. Why do you need a fursona? Is it to hide his identity as a crook? As a crook dog? I don't know. Astral Spiff Washer. Dogs have skin sonas. Wouldn't it be like a human sona? That just sounds a little better than fursona than skin sona. A little bit. Down here. It's like that one Ask I Answer where Berkeley's like, this is my human sona. Our advantage is we have nipples. And it's like, okay, Berkeley. Whatever you say. Yeah. Wrong one. Ugh. I see other people's paintings and I'm like, oh, their paintings are so good. Mine are just bleh. But that's okay. It's fun to do either way. What would Persona look like? I don't know. Wasn't there a game called Persona? I guess, check that out. Whatever's going on there. A better human. Better, faster, stronger. We can rebuild him. messing with stuff and seeing what happens here. I gotta go over there soon. Most likely to be serial killers. Serial mascots. I don't know. What about that one guy from Cinnamon Toast Crunch who was like kind of went crazy? Like there used to be like three cooks for the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and then there was just him for some reason. Where did the other ones go? Where have they gone? Where are the serial killers? I don't know. It depends on if you think cereal's alive or not. Just don't get into like a sausage party kind of thing going on. Let's not do that. My main knowledge of sausage party is that it changed Canadian labor practices for animation because the animators in that movie were so badly treated. Barney, that's the blonde guy from Flintstones, Fruity Pebbles. He was just trying to steal Fred's Fruity Pebbles, though. For some reason, he just couldn't go get his own Fruity Pebbles. He had to go steal somebody else's Fruity Pebbles. Okay. I might need to do a little bit more over here. This is like kind of under an overhang. Yeah, he was always trying to steal Fred's Fruity Pebbles. For reasons unknown. I don't know if there's a shortage of Fruity Pebbles. No Captain Crunch. Isn't his first name Horatio? That's a great name. Horatio. Okay, let's do the, okay. I'm better. But I'm just not super duper at these. Huh. So what is his rank according to his uniform? If he's not a captain, who are you? I do like me some Captain Crunch though. Very sweet, but I like it. But I like sweet cereals in general. Except for chocolate cereal. I like chocolate cereal. I like fruity cereal, not chocolate cereal. Okay, move on to, he's a commander. Master and commander of the cereal seas. What else got going here? Oh, isn't commander a higher rank than captain? Oh, I guess commander. Oh no, Commander Crunch sounds pretty good too, honestly. I'd be Commander Crunch. I don't know. Hello, thank you for coming. Commander is lower rank than Captain? Okay. Shows what I know. Apparently not that much. Nice to see you as well. Thank you for coming to the stream. We are doing some Undertale fan art. I'm trying to work on something for the anniversary. Even though painting is not my strong suit. That's okay. We're just having fun anyway. Halloween Crunch. Oh yeah, I guess it's September, therefore people are allowed to put out Halloween stuff now. As you know, reasons. What am I doing? I am working on a Undertale fan art for the 8th anniversary. Which is coming up in a couple of weeks, maybe like less than 2 weeks, so that's why I wanted to make some progress on it. I'm also still working on the next Eldritch Rune comic, but I'm going to do that separately because I'm close to finishing it, and I'm hoping to, if I'm really lucky, post it midweek, but it depends on how lucky I am in terms of getting stuff done. For now, I'm just doing some Undertale fan art. I haven't done that in forever. I'm just been doing Delta and stuff. Do a little stuff down there. Yeah, it is nice to do some painting now and then. Not my strong suit, but I like trying it. I always admire people who can just do amazing paintings. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with the black background. I might do something else with that, but black is fine for now. This might actually take a while. There's a lot of color stuff going on. That's why I made myself a big color guide. Oh, thank you. It's my little persona. The small version rather than the big version. Okay. It was fun doing I made a whole bunch of emotes for Twitch. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. I have all my little emotes and everything. And it turns out you can't upload most of them until you have a certain amount of subscribers. I was like, oh no. Ooh, mini Casio keyboard. Those are fun. Those are cute. Nope, I'm using Photoshop. I'm paying Adobe the money. I'm too used to it. I'll just write it off my taxes. I don't know if I've used much Clip Studio Paint, but yeah, I'm just super used to doing Photoshop, so that's what I mostly use. I use a couple other things now and then, but primarily it's Photoshop. Oh yeah, I imagine they look pretty similar. But yeah, Photoshop has a lot of brushes that I'm used to using. Like these ones I bought ages ago. I don't even remember where and when. But I just really like them, so I use them a bunch. Plus I got like some brushes from like some of my art teachers like decades ago at this point. So I'm just like, well, I'm gonna keep using these. You can't stop me. Bye-bye. I think I took like a digital painting class at some point, and they had brushes you could use for that, so I got a bunch of those. So I used to start using certain brushes that if I had to start from scratch, I'd be like, how do I do my brush? I want my brush back. Throw a baby fit. I should probably do waterfall as well, just to blend those together before I get too involved. See, waterfalls setup is what's this? Very black, very dark. Thank you. I'm seriously just color picking from all the reference I got. Ah. Might do something with like some overlay layers to vary it up a little bit. I was too busy the last couple of weeks. Now I have my free time back. A little bit. At least this weekend I am free. So I can do this one. But yeah, last week I was pretty busy. Or the week before it, because that was working with work stuff and also had family stuff to deal with. Yeah, like It's really nice to be able to just grab colors. It's like working traditionally is fun, but it's a little spooky sometimes. Because it's like, what's the color gonna do? I don't know. You'll find out. Never underestimate. Never give up. Never surrender. I need to see that movie again. I might go see a movie tomorrow. I need to make sure I get the right time for it. If you were a video game enemy, what item would I drop? I feel like somebody asked me this a while ago, and I'm trying to remember what I said for that. Yeah, that's true. Physically layering colors is very cool. I know I answered this previously. I'd probably drop, I don't know, $10. Hot chocolate packets. Some crickets, apparently, because they're going in the background right now. Yeah, even just mixing colors together is enjoyable. A little bit of a blendy there. What are you yelling at, computer? I don't know. What else would I drop? After you defeated me, I'd be very easily defeated. Super easily defeated. Okay. Blend these together as well. You can defeat me by like not letting me sleep enough. That will defeat me. Broken stick. No, don't break my stylus. They're expensive to replace. Don't do it. A 1 in a 128 chance. Yeah, what are my rare drops? Good question. What do you have to farm me for loot? Loot farms. What's my rare drop? I don't know. Healing food or glasses? That's useful. Yeah, Wacom pens ain't cheap. Well, I usually go through the tips on this one a lot faster than I do the other for some reason. Love Pokemon. Nice. I know everybody's playing Pokemon Sleep. I'm still playing Pokemon Go though. That is my poison. Why is the paper not showing up? Oh no. Yeah, I heard like you kind of have to leave your phone on your bed in order for it to work. And I don't want to do that. I'm going to roll over on it and squish it. I don't want to do that. So, and also I don't really need help with my sleep schedule. I can sleep pretty well. I probably should sleep more. Like I'm probably not getting enough sleep, but I'm not like I'm an insomniac or anything like that. So I don't need that. What I need to do is go outside and walk, which is why I still use Pokemon Go. Did you make a funeral? Well, my grandfather died recently, so yes, there was a funeral. I couldn't go to it because it was in Texas, and that's too far for me to travel, especially since I don't have travel papers right now. I'm in the middle of getting my passport, which hopefully will get to me soon. So I watched the live stream of it. But yeah, that was the family stuff that I was kind of dealing with, and why I couldn't do art stuff as much. It was my grandfather passed away. He was very old, very good man, but you know, it's hard. especially hard for like my dad and my parents. So I was mostly just calling, trying to, you know, make sure they were doing okay, especially because I could not be there. The problem is all the kids are adults and we're all like busy and stuff. Oh, wait a minute. I think this was supposed to be, yeah, it's supposed to be ice. Yeah, it's hard. I'm down to one grandparent now. I grew up most of my life with all of my grandparents, but they're all pretty old. So my grandmother died last year. Like, this is on my dad's side, and like she had been married to my granddad for like over 65 years, like 66 years, something crazy like that. And like when you're with somebody that long, like you kind of stick together through stuff like that, if that makes sense. Didn't I have ice? I could have sworn I saved some ice in my little... Okay, here it is. Here's the ice. I know I had ice somewhere. Oh, thank you. Yeah, but yeah, basically, if you're wondering, like, why wasn't I drawing very much? Because one, I was really busy with work. Work was kind of hammering me. I was trying to get through. I'm getting through roughs on this difficult episode, but I got through the roughs and they were pretty good. The review for them went well, better than I thought it would. So I'm past that, and then also I was just calling my parents a lot because we were going through that. It's the kind of thing where it's like, you know, it's not unexpected. He's, again, almost 90, but it's just hard. So I was trying to call my dad and my mom. I was busy. So tell your parents or your family you love them. If your family are good. If your family are crappy, then live your life. But my family is actually pretty nice, so like I need to call them more often. I wonder. Can I just do a... How am I doing this? Oh, it's almost time to do my stretch. Oh, thank you. I can work in IT customer service. I kind of did that briefly. Oh, it's my ads time. Sorry about that. I'm going to get up and stretch. See what we've done so far. We're making a little progress. But, okay. During ad break. Yeah, one of my first jobs was I was a switchboard operator for my college. So people didn't talk to me for very long, but I got very used to having a phone voice. Because, you know, people would just call a bunch asking to be connected to someplace else, and it's just my job to, you know, connect them over the switchboard. So I got very used to having a phone voice. When I talk to people on the phone nowadays, like, especially if I'm talking to, like, a customer service person, and I slip into my customer service voice, and I'm very calm, and very polite, and read out numbers slowly. Because I got used to doing that. I did that job for a while. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you. I super appreciate it. That's super cool. And yeah, I get you. I hate ads too. Is this my thing going? Oh no, it died. Why did you die? Come on. Go. Clickety. Next. Ah. My randomizer. Get over here, randomizer. Come on. Oh yeah, IT support. Oh, that's gonna be really tough. Oof, oof, oof. Pizza ad, and then back from the pizza ad. I really hope this is working. Okay, yes it is. Oh, that's probably from my family. Both my parents are teachers, so I got teacher voice from my parents. Oh no. I never did much teaching myself. It's genetic. I got the teacher genetics. Although I have tried teaching a little bit, and I don't know how people do that, because that's really stressful. Like, I've tried to teach, like, little art classes for kids, and then I'll, like, you know, something will go wrong, and they'll start crying, and I'm like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It's very stressful. So I can't imagine doing that constantly all the time with like 30 kids at once. Alright, be right back for another stretch. Hey baby, you're still on your rock. You're sitting out. You're sitting out. Yes, it is an infinity sign and an 8, because it's the 8th anniversary, and I'm like, oh, well, Undertale is time loop, so it's perfect. So, it's both. It's the 8th anniversary, and Undertale is playing off Undertale's looping nature, so it is both. Is forever. I'm gonna have to something about that. Nice, that would be a neat thing. I don't know how much we're actually going to get for the anniversary this year, since Toby sounds like he's going to be busy. And that's okay. I'm sure he is super busy working on stuff. We don't have to do something big every year. I'm like, I like doing some art. Yeah, just since I mostly do Deltarune nowadays, I'm like, I need to do some Undertale art, so anniversary is a good excuse to do that. I can't believe it's been 8 years. It's crazy. It's very fun to get into a new fandom and you're like, whoa, look at all the cool stuff. Whoa! Nice. Like, I wasn't super duper right in the fandom when it started. Like, I didn't play it until I think like October, November, when it came out in like September. But it was not that long after, because I got all these friends who were like, oh, you should play this, this is really fun. I'm like, okay, this looks like something I would enjoy. Bum bum bum, lo and behold. A lot of flowers outside. Mm-hmm. Trying to a little bit out here. I don't know, I probably won't be able to get to the characters today, but I do have characters on here. They're this level, just haven't done them yet. I'll probably be last. Alright. We are clones, oh no! Man, speaking of clone stuff, I remember like back in the 90s, they were like, we've cloned Dolly the sheep, what does this mean for science? And it was like a really big deal. All these like newspaper magazine articles about it. I don't really know what became of that. It's the game design is cute and it's fun. Weird story. It's a weird story. Let's see. Anything else I should do here? Let me just take this down a little bit. I hope this looks okay in the end. Great to go, Steve. started playing random. Oh yeah, that was everywhere. I'm still not quite sure what that is. If I said some AU, but I'm not sure the context for that AU. Let's see. I don't know if I should do anything else over here. Maybe. A bit over here. Sure, why not? Remember to save often. Aww. Aww. It's very interesting. I'm sure there's quite a lot of people that got into the game because they saw like fandom stuff on like YouTube, because YouTube would recommend a lot of it. And we're like, whoa, that looks neat. I'm gonna try that out, and then ended up liking the actual game, which I think that's pretty neat. Okay, probably shouldn't overdo that anyway. Let's do some of this. Is my mic on the same surface as my tablet? Yes, it is. I just have this Yeti mic, and I'm sure it's picking up other stuff like me tappity-tapping and the crickets chirping and my air conditioner going because it's a little warm today. So you're hearing tackety-tackety-tackety. My mic is not like an overhang. It is on the same surface. There was a lot of sands for a while. It was very saturated. There we go. My tackety-tackety noises. I hope they're at least okay tackety-tackety noises. I'm also tapping on my keyboard all the time for that kind of stuff. Do that a little bit, I guess. Like the sound of computer stuff. Yeah, I like it too. I like having a very tactile keyboard. Like the Mac ones. I got used to using the Mac ones a bunch, but now that I'm on a PC, it's kind of nice to have one that's a little bit more tactile. Pyrus' favorite character? Pyrus is the favorite character for a lot of people. My favorite character is Alphys. As evidenced by the fact I named my lizard after her. Alphys, are you still there? Yes, you are. You're sitting up and watching me. She is currently watching me from her little perch. Can't use mechanical keyboards? Oh, no. I'm not sure what's going on with this one. It's a little bit of... I need to take that down a bit. Asriel is very cool. Okay, what is your question? Oh, I'm talking all the time. I'm always making noise, so I'm pretty sure she's used to me making noises. Sorry, girl, you're just surrounded by noise. I think it might be she's out because the temperature is a little bit warm. And she had a little outside time, so she's like, okay, I'm out. I'm up. What's happening? What is happening? Sure, I think you could do that. I don't have any kind of, ownership to that idea. I think that's a neat idea for that kind of thing. Because, like, in the first place, he was Asriel and he renamed himself to, basically separate himself from the person he was. He's like, that's not me anymore. And I feel like if he changed, like, even more after that, he would do that again and be like, okay, I'm not that person anymore, I'm somebody else. I always figured just, like, parent. Like, I think a lot of people with their pets, they kind of be like, oh, that's my child, just not my human child. This is my animal child. Yeah, what the... Like, usually people will not like, oh, you know, my fur baby or all that kind of stuff. That's just the way of saying, like, my pet. So I say, oh, I'm your mom. You're my little lizard girl. Fur babies. Some cohesion around here. I don't know. Just kind of layering colors as I go. Figuring it out. Yes, I shall take care of them. Try my best to take care of Alfies. Oh man, I saw like something on, I don't know, Tumblr or something recently, or Plurk, where this guy was like, I've rescued this bearded dragon. I'm gonna build them a brand new tank. And it was like this huge, like, I don't know how many gallons tanks. And they're like, here I am putting all these things in the walls. And now they're gonna have this little digging hole. And now they're gonna have all these spots to perch on. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. That looks really cool. I don't have the skill or the space for it. Yeah, sometimes you have pets that are like, this is my one person, and nobody else. Just this person. Yeah, I'm definitely not having kids. Thankfully, my family is like, okay, we've accepted this. Like, thank you for not bothering me about it, because I don't want to have kids. Terrifying amount of responsibility. I really don't know how my parents did it. They had me like really young too. I'm like, how did you do that? And that's just kind of like what the culture was at the time. Aw, my puppy. I really like dogs. I would totally have a dog if they would let us. At least they let us have, at least they let us have pets. There used to be no pets in this apartment allowed. And finally I was like, please, let me have a lizard. And they're like, okay, actually we lifted this restriction after COVID because everybody was in their house lonely, so like, you can have a lizard. And I was like, yay! Okay, it's not terrible. Probably go over this a few more times. We'll see if any one of us kids has kids or not, because we've got 2 younger siblings, and I don't know if they're going to have kids or not. I think they want to, or at least one of them wants to, but not quite at that stage yet. It's hard. It's hard to get up enough, like, cash, basically, to do that kind of thing now. So I'm guessing if anybody's going to do it, it's probably going to be, oh, that's not correct at all. It's probably going to be, like, my youngest sibling, because he might, marry into somebody with a bit more money than we have, so that's going to help stabilize things. And obviously he's not doing it for the money. Like, she's a very sweet girl, so it would be nice if they got together. What music do I like? What you're listening to right now, largely. I like listening to soundtracks and stuff like that. Let's see. Cool. Sorry, I need my water. well, listen to game soundtracks is nice, and I like a lot of I was trying to think of what I had on Bandcamp recently. A lot of synth pop, techno pop, kind of bright, peppy, chiptunes kind of stuff. I like that. I like some rock. Chile. Let's see. Oh yeah, I gotta do that. Actually, where's go back to here. Where is? It looks like we're done with Snowden. Let's take a peek at what we have for this. Any indie music I like? Probably some. I'll tell you what, been listening a bunch to some Brony artists because like Brony music is actually really good. A lot of it's really good. So there were some Brony musicians I was listening to. I've been listening to on repeat a bunch because I really like their stuff. I should probably do like a little wave thing on this side, shouldn't we? But I could probably stand to expand my palettes more. I need to like just let Bandcamp take me places. I don't really use Spotify very much, but I heard Bandcamp is pretty good. Kieran Tail. No, I mean like Brony musicians who do like original music kind of stuff. Cause that is a surprisingly large amount of stuff like that exists. I'm trying to make a little bit of some of the areas are like totally black and some of them are not. Oh, talking NLP musicals. That was my favorite song to work on though. I really like the Kieran song. Oh, musicals are always fun. That's what I grew up listening to a lot of. My parents would put like, when you're a kid you have to listen to what your parents would put on. And we would have either stuff from musicals. That was pretty frequent. Like we had a lot of Les Mis growing up. Or soundtracks from movies, 60s and 70s folk rock, like Mamas and the Papas, Fleetwood Mac, that kind of stuff, or church stuff, Christian a cappella music, got a lot of that. So that's what I had growing up: folk rock, Christian music, musicals, movie soundtracks. I think the most scandalous thing that my dad had was like a copy of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. We never got to actually listen to it. I think that was just for him. Oh, thank you. I had a really fun time working on that song in particular. I think that was like, I got assigned that episode, and I'm looking over what I had to do for it. And I'm like, oh, this looks really fun. Oh, the song, I'm going to work on the song right now. So I started on the song before I did anything else. I just focused on that, like, first. Back when I could do that. I can't do that much anymore. It's not working. I did introduce my parents to Hamilton. They ended up liking that. That came out around the same time Undertale did. They were, oh shoot, I gotta remember. Don't go into that area. Otherwise that's gonna be bad. Yeah, I remember Hamilton came out around the same time that Undertale did, so there was a little bit of weird fandom crossover there, briefly. It was kind of funny. Let's see how I'm going to tackle this stuff. I try and save often because, goodness knows, this thing likes to just pull the rug out from under you sometimes. Computer. Computer. I think we might need a slight bit of thing to differentiate that one from that one. I tell you, there was more cross. I think that's a forgotten aspect of fandom. Is back in the day there was a bit more Hamilton Undertale crossover, just because those two things came out at around the same time. They're vile, twisted things, and yet I depend on them for my everyday life. No! I'm in trouble now. That Come on now, get filled in. No. I'll tell you what's vile and twisted, printers. They're the worst. They will get you. I feel like I need a little bit of something over here. I used to have a printer, and I killed it. Goodbye, printer. Now anytime I want to print stuff, I'm like, okay, time to drive out to Staples. And pay some money just to print things, and yet somehow it's still cheaper than having to buy ink for myself. Yeah, it is crazy. I used to print a lot of stuff on my own, because I used to, print stuff for conventions more, so I printed out myself at home, and it kind of started to add up a bit. Just a bit. Okay, I know that that waterfall is like kind of a pebbly thing going on, so we should probably do that. I think I snagged these off of Reddit, and they're kind of got all the interact tiles on there, so it's not quite the same. Laser printers. That's true. That's true. I don't think I've ever used a laser printer, but I've heard about them, and I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Sorry. You get both things. You're like, oh, I like to draw the cute stuff. I like to draw the scary, horrible stuff. You get both. Especially for, like, my work is mostly drawing, like, stuff that's, you know, very kid-friendly, kid-safe. So it's nice to, you know, when I'm not working on work, to do stuff that's not work stuff. Which means sometimes it's ridiculously cute, whatever I want. Sometimes it's very dark. I think that's true of, like, a lot of, artists working in the field. Because, again, most of the time when you are working for work stuff, you have to do stuff that's very, very kid-friendly, very safe. Don't get to experiment that much. If you do, you're very lucky, but even then that's a little risky. So it's gotta not be afraid to take risks and all that. And expand. There's lots of ways I should expand, honestly. I probably should do more anatomy studies. I haven't done those in forever. But I never have time. I'm like, oh, if I have spare time, I better work on some of the art I should do. So, like, I feel like my use of hands is slipping. I should probably, if I have a little bit of extra time in a few weeks or something, I might, like, take a little bit of time and just do some hand studies, because if nothing else, I need to make sure I get my stuff of hands back. It's very important. It's very important. I never have time to study. Oh yeah, like a lot of industry people, like, you know, you want to be like a full artist and have a full range of experiences, and you're really not allowed that very much in industry stuff, just because, again, you're creating a specific product for a specific audience, and even more so, like, you're doing this stuff for, you know, like, clients that get really persnickety if you're doing something they don't want you to do. Oh, I didn't do that. Huh, okay. Why didn't I do that? That's weird. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. I feel like it used to be even worse. Like, way back in the day, I think I was visiting the Klasky Chupo studio, and we were wandering around the animators' stuff, and there were some really inappropriate drawings just kind of hanging around of those characters. Like, super inappropriate. Like, wow, I'm shocked you did this kind of thing. And even when I was on ponies, like, we would do weird jokes and memes and stupid shit posts, but nothing that was really, like, inappropriate. Yeah. Yeah, I like the mom, holy fuck, like, that's a funny one. Like, you can draw, like, the characters swearing and stuff like that, and it's fun. You know, they're never going to see the light of day. But again, when I went there when I was a kid and I saw that studio, there was some stuff that was just like, you should not have put this on your wall. I'm not sure why you did that. There's a little grass here. Now I'm working from home, so I can't do that much anymore. The last thing we had, last thing I remember contributing to before I started working from home all the time with the pandemic was, we were on Johnny Test. So we had a Johnny Test shitpost wall, and it was just a collection of, Johnny Test shitposts we would just put on the wall. Oh yeah, see, when I was working on ponies, I introduced some people to the concept of sparkle dogs. I'm like, no, we gotta have some sparkle dogs in here. Okay, I should probably do the glowing water so I don't lose track of where that is. For MLP, we had, this kind of became like a running joke. I'm not even sure how it started, but our little boardroom where we would draw storyboards we called Dolphin World, and we would put up a whole bunch of like really kitschy dolphin art, just like kind of Lisa Frank stuff, kind of weird, Wyland art of dolphins all over the place, just all this weird dolphin stuff. And I think there was like somebody who's shooting some kind of documentary or whatever. They're like checking on us or something. They come into our board room one day and they just they're kind of expecting us all this pony stuff on the wall. We did have that, but then they saw like the dolphin kitsch all over the place, and we're just kind of like, huh? Like what is this? I'm like, it's Dolphin World. What are you talking about? So that was the MLP boardroom, at least for later seasons. It was Dolphin World. This, dolphin kitsch. There's just some inside joke that just kind of took off, and we just, I think somebody put up a poster that was just like a poster of dolphins near their thing, and it just said Dolphin World on it, like Sanzani kind of, it was time to do my stretches. I'm doing my stretches. Oh, you know what? I should have done that thing first. Hold on. Yeah, you put DeviantArt stuff on the walls. Wow. I'm making progress, yet it still feels like there's so much left to go. I'm gonna have to spend some time on this stuff because I haven't even tackled the background stuff yet. Also, I need to get some more water because I'm going through the water really quickly. Yeah, we had dolphin kitsch on our wall. I used to post to DeviantArt all the time, and then I just kind of stopped. I don't know why. I just kind of lost track of it. There was a lot of good art on DeviantArt. There was a ton. Nope, that's it. Get rid of that. Yeah, I posted a ton of stuff on DeviantArt. That was mostly all of my Kingdom Hearts fan art. I had a ton of that. I think a lot of it's still on my Tumblr too, but it's all old now, so I'm like, don't look at it. It's from years ago. It's not good. Like even my Undertale art from 7 years ago, I'm like, look at this. No, don't look at it. It's not good. Don't look at me. Waterfall is such a cool vibe. I love Waterfall. Cool music, cool vibe. It's just cool. It's cool. Yeah, I need to read the Undertale art book again. I have it on my shelf. I looked through it a couple times, but I don't remember everything in there. Stretch, stretch, stretch. I like Toby's notes though. I like how he's like, I don't know what I did with Onion Sand here. It's just a person. What's my DeviantArt profile picture? I used to do this original comic called The Secret War, and it was about like characters in your subconscious or your self, and they would, you know, it was like obedience versus disobedience. It was very Christian, and that was one of the characters from that. I think that was one of my favorite little guys for that thing I drew. Be right back. My water so I can get back to things. Yeah, the water has to be signed. You have to have cool, bright water. You gotta have that. Used to study? Oh, that was a collab I did with a coffee mental, which I'm not sure if they're still drawing, but they were making a Undertale AU as well. Back in the day. I don't think they're doing it anymore. I think they moved on to other things. It is hard to maintain that stuff for a long period of time. So I'm not surprised most people have not done that. It is kind of exhausting. I'll do a little bit of shadow under here as well. But yeah, that was a collab. That was two different artists working on it. Okay. And do a little bit over here. Do like a little shadow under this guy. A little bit more blue, do like a little edging there. So I'm gonna stand so it's not totally stuck in there. Yeah, I feel weird looking at my DeviantArt profile now because I'm like, oh, everything's old and I haven't updated forever. Sorry. Sorry. Since a lot of the stuff I've been doing lately has been like responses to asks, so kind of this more communal thing. I guess there's a lot of community stuff for DeviantArt back in the day. Okay, so you know what happened to me once with DeviantArt? I can't remember when this was. This feels like ages ago. But I got invited to like a meetup for DeviantArt people, like a lot of DeviantArt influencers or something. It wasn't that day. I'm not sure why they invited me. And it was like at a pizza place. The Questing Beast. I don't know what that is. Yeah, it was like this meetup, and I don't remember what they were trying to ask us some stuff about DeviantArt and how we thought about it, and you know, what they wanted us to do for the future, kind of stuff like that. And kind of get like, you know, input on the direction for it. This was years ago. I remember I felt so awkward because I just got this invite. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go. It was like somewhere in Los Angeles, and it was fine. Got free pizza. That was pretty cool. But I'm not quite sure why I was invited to that. I don't remember if I kept up with anybody that I met there or not. But yeah, apparently back in the day they used to care about what people thought, at least a little bit. The questing beast has the head and neck of a snake, the body of a leopard, the haunches of a lion, and the feet of a hart, which is a deer. I've never heard of the questing beast, but it's like every beast. Ah! Why would you kill me with that? Why would you say that? Why would you say that to me? Why would you say that to me? I don't like that. Why would you tell me that? No. No. It's time for me to crumble to dust. It's time for me to crumble to dust now. You said the head and neck of a snake, the body of a leopard, the haunches of a lion, the feet of a hart. That does sound like a giraffe. It just needs like the horns of like a steer or something like that. It does sound like a giraffe. But now I feel extremely old. Help me! I'm gonna go get my dentures. Isn't there a thing? Yeah, let's do like a little bit of like a bluish kind of thing. Yes, like animal of this animal of this animal. That sounds like a giraffe in a way. It's got more of a horse head than a snake head, but I guess it's got the tongue. There's another questioning beast. I don't know. No, why stop telling me that? This is making me feel very old. No. I was a teen during the dawn of the internet too. I was good grief. I was in middle school, like the end of middle school, when I first started using the internet in any kind of like a regular capacity. And it was primarily, watch out. It was primarily for things like, you know, I was emailing friends we were the same fandom with. I was on Yahoo groups. You know, started out with GeoCities and Angel Fire. There was no social media. There was barely forums. I remember dial-up. We started out with dial-up and then we got, fancier, faster internet. We don't have to call in for it. I know, I saw that the Badger song is 20 years old. I remember the Badger song and how that was like the funniest thing in the world. I remember like the I Will Survive alien. I remember like showing adults that and being like, look at this really funny video on the internet. And that was like one of 5 funny videos on the internet, so I had to show it. And I remember All Your Bass. I remember a friend of mine in college showed me All Your Bass, and we laughed really hard because we thought that was the funniest thing in the world because it was one of 5 funny videos on the internet. The Badger song? Yeah, All Your Bass belong to us. Badger song, you know, badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom, badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Oh yeah, I remember we used to get those AOL things in the mail. Like they would be like, hey, here's 100 free hours of AOL on this CD-ROM. That'll make you want to get actual AOL somehow. Okay, that's not too bad. We gotta figure out what we're doing there though. I do have Dawn of the Internet story time. I do. Like, man, like, when I was a little kid, like, we did not have internet stuff. I learned how to type on, like, you know, those old computers that were, like, the green screen kind of thing, and not, like, green screen like you'd know. It'd be kind of like a green block of, you know, green scan lines kind of stuff. And play, like, number munchers on that. And I remember when floppy disks were actually floppy, as in, like, you know, you shook them and they were kind of floppy. They were like 3 1/4 inch long or something like that, or were they like 5-inch long ones? Eventually we got the floppy disks that were like kind of hard little disks, but when I was a little kid, floppy disks were floppy. They were this like kind of black, funky little things, and you'd put them in your computer, and that's how you'd run your programs. Oh yeah, I remember Potter Puppet Pals. Yeah, Harry Potter, unfortunately, not fun anymore. But back in the day, before we found out that J.K. Rowling was a TERF, those videos were very funny. I liked them. Yeah, it was the 5-inch floppies. That's what it was. We would run like number munchers off of that, and did. Let's see, is there anything else I need to do on the ground here before I move on to Hotland? I think I'm okay. We play Oregon Trail on that. I would play Carmen Sandiego on my black and white computer, black and white Mac, because that's what Macs were back in the day. And it's like, you want to solve this geography problem? Get your atlas out and look it up in the atlas. No, that was not so much forums as that was email lists. Is that, like, honestly, I thought about, you know, it might be quite nice to have email lists come back. Where you basically send in, you know, if you have fan fiction, or it was mostly fan fiction. I don't think they could do fan art. Send it into the mailing list, and then like once a week they would send out a big, you know, like group copy of the list to everybody that was on the mailing list with like all this fan fiction you could read. Yeah, forums are kind of like Reddit in that you would have like individual topics and everybody could post on that. There was a lot more flair you could do for it though. Let's see, base sketch. Yeah, okay, let's go to where's my Hotland reference? Yeah, that'll work out. Actually, Hotland doesn't have much going on for it. It's so small. But yeah, Reddit's probably the closest thing to what forums were like. But again, forums had, for one, a little better moderation, and two, you could have a lot more personalization of them, let's say. I mean, the internet has horrific content now. It had horrific content back then. It had both. Like, there's always been horrific content on the internet. That's never stopped. There was no golden time when it's like, the internet was pure and perfect and it was good for everybody. La 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 la. Like, it's not true. There was a lot less moderation, if that's what you're asking. So, there was that. Ooh, these are very stark colors for Hotland, I realized. Also, I'm not sure what you would call the front page on the internet, because, like, Google didn't exist for a while. Hello, thank you for coming. Yeah, in terms of, like, there was awful things on the internet back then. There have always been awful things on the internet. That has not changed. If anything, it's a little bit safer now, because people are a little better about tagging stuff. What'd you do without Google? Well, you just went to the webpage you wanted to go to. I mean, you would have a home page, you know. It just probably wasn't Google. Alright, thanks a bunch for coming to the stream, and I hope you sleep well. Thanks a bunch. Appreciate having you here. I think this is going to be lava coming down here at some point. But, yeah, I mean, you could have, like, a home page. You could have, like, a... How'd you find the web page to go to? You knew what the, website was. Usually, like, if it was a place that would advertise it, then, you know, you hear from someplace else, like a commercial or a magazine or whatever. Go to blah.com. No, you do not send URLs in the mail. Subservient chicken. What did I spend a lot of my time on? When I was first like into like X-Files, I was on like a bunch of fan fiction X-Files pages, and those were like, there wasn't even like fanfiction.net back then. You just kind of found these websites, usually through word of mouth, and you followed them. But yeah, got rid of that chicken. But yeah, the problem with early internet was like not much in the way you could do with pictures and video, because that was just way too expensive to like put on your page. It was just took up too much space. So it was mostly text. Yeah, like at one point FF.net did exist, but like my earliest times of like what did you do? What did you do without FF.net? You posted it to websites that were dedicated to fanfiction. Like, basically, because I was on X-Files fanfiction a lot. That was where I kind of got started with internet stuff, was X-Files. The big archive for X-Files fanfiction was gossamer.com.net. I don't remember which one specifically. But it was, you either built your own webpage, or you basically submitted it to curated web pages that were for specific fandoms. So, yeah, for X-Files that was Gossamer. So it would always be really cool to be like, yeah, I got my fanfiction onto gossamer.net. I think it was .net. I can't remember which dot it was. Yeah, I don't know what I'm picking anymore. No, I need to get my things. But yeah, basically you have an individual website for a specific place you wanted to go, and you went to that. And again, that was largely a word of mouth stuff. Hello, thank you for coming. We are working away on this stuff. Maybe I should do a little bit of stuff down here, I think. Oh yeah, I was a bit of a coward too. But it was just like, it was a lot of fun. I had a neighbor friend, actually one of my oldest friends, honestly. We've been friends for like, I don't know, 25 years at this point. But like when I first moved to a new place, and I was like, I don't know anybody, and there was a girl across the street that was my age, and we were like, oh, we're my age, and let's into kind of the same things, let's hang out. And we ended up getting into X-Files together. So we would get really excited about X-Files, and we would write a bunch of fan fiction for it, and that was really good times. No, Romo, no! Ah! We were versus the No Romos. I was a Mulder Scully shipper. That's where the term shipper originated, by the way. Like, shipping and shipper, that comes from X-Files. That's where that originated. So now you know that fandom history. That came from X-Files. And it was basically like people that wanted Mulder and Scully to get together. I'm pretty sure it originated from X-Files. Like, you would have ships, like, you know, back in Star Trek and stuff like that, but I don't think it was called shipping until X-Files. Or shipper. Because it was short for relationshipper. And, that was specifically, I want Mulder and Scully to get together. I want Mulder and Scully in a relationship. Yeah, no Romo meant no romance, so that was like, no! You have to let them get together! Yeah, early X-Files was really good. I fell off around, like, seasons, like, 8 and 9. I kind of feel like, okay, Mulder's back at the end of season 7, and they had the baby together. Now leave them alone. Please leave them alone. And were not left alone. They were not left alone. No, me and my friend, we wanted Mulder and Scully to get together, so we were shippers. No! Not for Mulder and Scully, anyway. There also wasn't much in the way of, like, gay ships for that show. Not many options. You basically had Krychek, and that was about it. Nobody for Scully, as far as I can tell. Unless you want to get together with Reyes, but nah, Reyes is a play. Yeah, I don't know if you could do no Romo nowadays without it kind of having a no homo association, and that's probably not what you're going for. That sounds a little mean in ways you probably don't want to do. Like, I can see it, again, working in the context of Mulder and Scully, but I feel like in a larger context you're going to butt up against something that might be a problem for you. Yeah, they had interesting ideas. Season 1, I feel like top seasons for me for X-Files were seasons 3 and 4. I thought they had some really interesting, fun stuff going on. There's also, a little bit of the overarching plot before it got kind of dumb. And just overall, it was, a lot of possibility, weird and cool. So I like seasons 3 and 4. Like, I feel like the myths kind of, the movie was really good with the myth stuff, it felt like. And then, after season 6, it kind of started to fall apart a bit. Poor Deep Throat. He was cool. I like seasons 5 and 6. Season 6 was where I started watching regularly, because pretty much, we caught up, me and my friend, we caught up on the older seasons, kind of out of order. We would just, tape them on videotapes off of, TV whenever we caught them. Because we met each other in, I think it was 1997 or so, was when the movie came out. Or, no, was it 98? It was something like that. It was late 90s. And, we went and watched the movie together, and that's how we really got into it. And the movie was between seasons 5 and 6. So, that was what really, got our interest peaked. So I have fond memories of seasons 5 and 6. Backyardigans. So I do like seasons 5 and 6. There was some good stuff. Was it TNG fanfics? I could have sworn it was X-Files. I know obviously, Star Trek did shipping a lot earlier, back in the 60s. That was when it started. But I don't know if that was the terms they used. Riker and Troy. Maybe I should watch some Star Trek sometime. I've got to... What? No, Luminosity. That's not what I want. What are you doing? No, that's what I was doing. So maybe I should watch some more Star Trek sometime. I've got a coworker friend who worked on Lower Decks and just sings the praises of Star Trek. When you have, somebody on your... You have a mutual that's, not in a fandom that you're in, but you're my fandom-in-law, oh, I'm so happy things are going for you and your fandom. Huzzah! I haven't seen Lower Decks, but I probably should. Because, again, I know some people that worked on Lower Decks. I feel like I kind of should know more Star Trek before I watch Lower Decks. It seems like it's a lot of referentials. I'll appreciate it more if I, know more Star Trek references. And honestly, the most knowledge I have about Star Trek was Star Trek 4, the one with the whales. Because, we taped that off of TV, and because, it was a kind of a fun comedy sci-fi, it was fun for the kids to watch. We're oh, let's watch Star Trek 4, where they save the whales. Which is, kind of an outlier in terms of Star Trek, I think. But if I don't need to, know a lot of Star Trek lore to watch Lower Decks, maybe I'll check it out sometime. Wait, Drive is the reason Breaking Bad exists? I remember that episode. It had like a cool hook in the beginning where it's like, oh, you know, here's a police chase, and had that cool monster of the week where basically a guy has to drive west or else his head's gonna explode. Wait, how was that the reason Breaking Bad exists? Like, I know Vince Gilligan. He was the one behind Breaking Bad, right? And he was a writer on X-Files. But I don't know how those two things connect to each other. The X-Files to Breaking Bad pipeline. I haven't seen Breaking Bad. I probably should at some point. It feels weird that it came out so long ago, and yet there's all these memes are out for it now. But yeah, no, I know the connection between X-Files and Breaking Bad is Vince Gilligan was a writer on X-Files and then became, I think, the head writer on, or the head creator of Breaking Bad. I remember this because the episodes that Vince Gilligan wrote on X-Files were all really good. Like, we were always like, oh yeah, Vince Gilligan episode, this is going to be a good one. Or was he a producer? I don't know. I could have sworn he was a writer. Okay. Oh, neat. Go figure. Go figure. That's so funny. Oh no, how am I going to do this texture I've got going on here? I'll work out something for that in a bit. Let's we'll start with this, I guess. Yeah. That's so fascinating. Did Chris Carter do anything else after X-Files? I suddenly can't remember. I feel like he didn't, but maybe I'm just not aware of it. FM Scelata. What happened in that one again? I feel like I want to say that was a mythology episode, but maybe not. What is that one with like bugs in it? Weren't there like some or like a eat killer bugs, or killer moss or something? What happened in that episode? Actually, no. Is there any... No, you know what? We're not gonna do the we'll do the shinier version here instead of the complicated one. This is probably a little better. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that episode was about. I feel like it was about bugs. Okay. Who's Buckbeak? From Harry Potter? He's the big hippogriff from Harry Potter? I did some Harry Potter fan art. Again, this was back before we knew that JKR was a turf. So I ain't doing that again. But, oh yeah. I think that was actually for a class. If I recall correctly. This was for a class I took, when I was at Noman. We had to do some, you know, kind of, designs for a franchise as like, you know, design practice, and the one they picked for us was Harry Potter. So, I think that was one of the ones I did. That I did like a Harry Potter werewolf and some other character designs. Okay, yeah, it's classwork. It was a Harry Potter classwork. How am I gonna do the transition between these two spots? Ugh, look at that. Red to blue. Oh, it's time for my break. Well, I'm making good progress, but oh my goodness, this is actually taking a while. Opens the lunchbox. I got an NBA ad. That's kind of weird. And I've never done that before. Yeah, there's probably a couple of Harry Potter things in my DeviantArt. Again, that's from like, I don't know, 15 years ago. So, make of that what you will. 20 years ago? I don't know what time is anymore. Aside from it being fake. Alright, the stretch, and stretch, and stretch, and stretch. At least when I get the backgrounds done. I don't think I can get all the colors done, but, you know. If we can make it through. Over here. I think I need to do more shading in that particular spot. Okay. No! Stop telling me how old you were. All I know is that I'm old. I'm old. So I need to stretch, otherwise my bones will just fall apart. It must be a pile of mushy bones that never exercised. Very bad. Do your exercises. Do your stretches. Who's tree sink? I think that was not a who, but a what. I think that was more classwork I did. It's, I don't know, I think it was some concept I had for a story idea with like quicksand, but it's vines. I just like the phrase tree sink, so. I don't think it was a person, I think it was an environment. Okie dokie. Stretch. See the one's fallen angel. I'm trying to remember that. I think that was a pretty good episode. That was a pretty good one. Alright, I'll be right back for one more stretch. Oh no, the girl, she's going into her nap. Returning. Return. Go back to this. And I'm trying to remember some other X-Files episodes I really remember liking. What are some ones that I enjoyed? Well, I'm probably going to do something about that glowing water there, aren't I? Yeah, I know some of my X-Files fanfiction got way too fantastical. Probably not genre appropriate, but, you know, I was in high school, so who cares? Bad Blood was a very fun episode. I was drugged! That's what I remember from that one. Just remember, keep telling him that you were drugged. Scully, stop. Just remember to tell me you're drugged. Scully, stop. And then Skinner comes in. I was drugged! Yeah, Jose Chung from Outer Space, another one of the funny ones. Yep, Lynx turned out of context, episode 5. I'm just quoting the X-Files. This red and blue mix is gonna be kind of weird. Weird. That was a good scene. Also, I love just the Sisyphean task of like, oh, Scully, you gotta do another autopsy. And I like her like autopsying the kid, and she's like opening up his stomach, and he's like, okay, the last thing he ate was pizza. Pizza sounds really good. And then she like orders a pizza because she was just autopsying somebody that had pizza in their stomach. That was just funny. Yeah, I remember the X-Cops one. Turned out it was, I think it was that was a werewolf in that one. If I recall correctly. color up a bit here. There were some weird ones. Like I remember that one that was like they go inside like a video game and it was very weird. Scully did have good coping mechanisms. She put up with a lot. Poor Scully. Like in the back in the day, I was like, oh, you know, come on, Scully, you gotta believe Mulder there. He's doing his best. And nowadays, I'm like, dude, Scully, you don't have to put up with this guy. He's being annoying. I also like the one Small Potatoes. That was another kind of a humor one with the guy with the tail. I thought that was funny. What are some other good ones I remember? Of course, because I was a shipper, I really liked Arcadia. Well, I also just like the concept of, like, you know, evil homeowners association and landfill golem, landfill monster. Small Potatoes was good. What's another good one? Unfortunately, there are some I look back on now, and I'm kind of like, oh no, this is kind of racist. Oh no, 90s racism. Ugh. Oh, the 90s. Yeah, I know there was like a PC game. The Evil Homeowner Association? Not much of a stretch, that's true. That's usually how it be. The garbage and it was like a garbage tulpa. That was what they called it, a garbage tulpa. Basically, a guy constructed a garbage monster with his mind. And this guy's like, no way to fix my light bulb! And then the garbage tulpa killed him. Next one had like early season 1 ones, like a Squeeze and Tombs. That was a pretty good reoccurring villain. He's like, I'm gonna get into your house by squeezing through your vents. Which was pretty spooky. Well, it's pretty spooky. Now, of course, there's Fluke Man, the classic Fluke Man. He's just a fluke man. He's just a fluke man. Yeah, Squeeze is actually pretty scary. Like that was one of the scarier ones. Like that was a very good Monster of the Week villain kind of guy. Just not saying anything. He breaks into your house and eats your liver. Yeah, the iconic intro. So, did you guys watch The Lone Gunman before they pulled it because it predicted 9/11? And I'm not even kidding, it literally did that. 'Cause I did. I watched that. Oh, really? Oh, it's in Pusher? Oh, that's so funny. Oh, Fluke Man. He hardly knew ye. Yeah, I told you, don't look at him. He's not a Tumblr sexy man. He's just a fluke man. He's not a sexy monster. He is the opposite of a sexy monster. I mean, in terms of redeeming qualities, he's literally just a big parasite monster. He's not all that smart or anything. He's just like a big... He's basically what if a fluke worm was a human. And they're very gross, but not actively malicious, I guess. Actually, I'm going to use my soft oil for this. No, not my soft oil, this one. No, nobody ever made Fluke Man into a Tumblr sexy man. It won't work, I'm sorry. Just won't work. I'm not quite sure how this is all set up. I don't know what X-Files monster would be a Tumblr sexy man. I'm kind of making this up as I go. I had to pick one X-Files monster to be a Tumblr sexy man. Who would it be? I made an X-Sona. I tried to make a an OC for X-Files. It wasn't very good though. Yeah, that doesn't sound quite right. Just now with whatever Elon Musk's doing. I have so much. I had like a guy who was like part of the cigarette smoking guys organization, but he was not that great. He was boring. I've never been very good at coming up with OCs, I feel like. Some people are just like, yeah, here's my cool OC, and I'm like, here's my OC, is lame, I'm sorry. Exactly. I feel like X-Files was like secretly very popular among like furries or like the Sonic crowd. I feel like there was like some kind of weird crossover going on there. Yeah, the CSM was really not that smart of a guy. Like, he was an intimidating villain, but they outsmarted him quite a few times. If they had his backstory, he's like, he was the one who shot JFK. Or he was the one that shot KFJ, right? Or did he just facilitate that? Somebody shot JFK, I don't know. Not quite bad. Beavis! So that's a original character for an original story. I don't know if that counts as like an OC for like a pre-existing thing. Okay. I feel like this was a very bright color if I recall correctly. For some reason it's not showing up on the thing though. I'll make it super duper bright. Yeah, sorry, my OCs were always boring for X-Files, at least. I think one time I was like writing some X-Files fan fiction where it was like a monster of the week that Mulder and Scully were investigating, and my friend was like, we should put self-inserts into, you know, the story. And I was like, yeah. And my self-insert was the one that got killed by the sea monster in the first 5 minutes. I was never very good at that. Here's my OC, now they're dead. Goodbye. Oh yeah, Unusual Suspects. That was a Lone Gunman one, wasn't it? That's what I'm saying. I wonder how many people watched the show The Lone Gunman before they pulled it, because again, it predicted 9/11 by accident. There was a spin-off, and they were like, we want to do a spin-off of the Lone Gunman. The problem is none of the Lone Gunmen are like traditionally very attractive Hollywood types. It's like, okay, we're going to put in 2 attractive Hollywood types. We're going to put in this sexy assassin and this guy who's basically a golden retriever of a man. And they're like, this is James Bond, and he's like a football coach and dumb as bricks. He's a basic himbo. Yeah, I don't know if Scully would be able to deny that one. I don't think the skepticism would work there. Maybe magic's real. The power of souls to break the barrier. It was extremely weird how there was like a X-Files movie that came out at the same time as the Indiana Jones movie. And the Indiana Jones movie was all about aliens, and the X-Files movie was all about religion. Like, you have to switch these. Monster wants their balls? No. problem was, like, I think the last X-Files movie I saw where it wasn't, like, the mythology one, it was just like, we're on a case to solve this thing, even though we're, like, 10 years older. Is I was watching it, and I'm like, this is the plot of a movie from Mystery Science Theater. This is the brain that wouldn't die. And I couldn't take it seriously anymore, because I'm like, it's just Jan in the Pan again. Why is Jan in the Pan in an X-Files episode? No. Let's see. Didn't I have a... Okay, now that's the bridge. No, we can do like a, this color down here. Think about it. What did I have going on here? Did I base sketch? Here we go. I don't know if they were specifically trying to imitate that MST3K episode, though. I think they just had a similar premise. Because those were running around the same time. In fact, I'm pretty sure Mystery Science Theater started before X-Files. But they were just... It was just too similar of a premise. I couldn't take it seriously. It wasn't working. And I've watched MST3K so many times, I know a lot of the plots of that off the top of my head. Okay, I'm gonna somehow transition this into True Lab, which will be interesting. Purple. Oh shoot, yeah, we got this rock down here. We got this rock down here. I don't want this rock. Oh, X-Files. It was nice to have, like, you know, a show that I would look forward to. Like, okay, it's Sunday night. We gotta make sure to watch X-Files, Mom. We gotta get up the thing and we gotta tape it. I don't really do that anymore. Nice. Go rewatch you some X-Files. I have seasons 1 and seasons 4 on DVD, but I'm not sure if the DVDs still work or not. I think some of them got kind of borked, unfortunately. Like, some episodes work and some don't, because it was like those big, like, multi-pack case things where you get, like, you fold them out and there's like 5 or 6 discs. Yeah, there's something to be said about serialized entertainment. That's probably why Homestuck got so popular for a long time. Because it was, you know, it was all updates at once, you know, not instead of binge model stuff. And everybody would check out the update at the same time and they'd all freak out. Like, there's a communal sense to that kind of thing that I think is actually kind of important. Ooh, nice. And the Erlenmeyer flask. Yeah, I've not read any of Homestuck 2. I unfortunately just heard it wasn't that good. Sorry. That's all I heard about it. I never even finished actually reading Homestuck itself. I just listened to a bunch of podcasts describe it to me. Oh yeah, and the photo album, yeah. Those are cool. Alright, I'm not sure if I'm doing that much with that one. Why did I decide to make this so complicated? I hope the actual backdrop stuff goes a little smoother. Seems a bit more complicated. But nope. Okay, and this was black, I guess. With some outlines to it. No. Oh no. I did hear, like, I did watch Sarah Zed's video on it, so I did hear about I know about Yiffy. I'm sorry, I do know about that. I have heard of that. Which, on the one hand, sounds very Homestuck, on the other hand, does not. So, I don't know how to feel about that. guess that's probably a good thing I never got super invested. I tried to read it, I really did, but by Act 6 I'm like, I can't do this anymore, it's hard. It's hard! Do a little bit of a... This area is black apparently, ah! I'm gonna have to go, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go over this with like some overlay layers and a little bit of shading generally in the future. Yeah, it seems like just the whole way that was set up is a little bit iffy too. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but that's what it seems like. Okay, now we're on to true lab stuff. How am I doing that? Stuff along here. Oh boy, oh boy. Why did I choose to do it that way? Also, oh, there we go. I need to look up what the dang little devicey thingy here is. Because I forgot and I just kind of sketched it. Yeah, I'm not sure what Hussey was thinking with all that. It also seems like he wasn't really the one doing that, really. He just kind of handed it off to other people because he wanted to do other things. I don't know. I'm not very knowledgeable on it, so I probably should not be asked about it. If I'm gonna be real, I only know what other people have told me. After this one might be a case where it is a good thing to cut it off. But, that one. So I'm probably gonna do like a little shiny thing here. And be shiny. Yeah. Yeah, I'll actually do the shadows after that. Wait, really? Okay, that's kind of weird. That's kind of like Toby, or not Toby, Hussey, why would you make that choice? I don't quite get it. I don't understand this vision. It does not make sense to me. It's like, okay, why did you do that, sir? Why was this your priority? No, it's a little bit too big. No, a little bit too big still. Oh boy, I'm gonna see if I can actually keep this as even as possible. Maybe we should just is it possible to do a checker pattern across this somehow? I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. Well, if I do that, it's not. I end up not quite matching what's going on up here. Maybe it'll be okay. Well, that looks okay. I wonder if I can use my regular brush here. This might be a little bit better to make sure these lines stay straight. Kinda, sorta. I am just kind of freewheeling this. I'm hoping that turns out okay. Gotta add all these objects back in. I guess it's okay. It works kind of well enough, I guess. A little bit up there. I haven't spent this much time on a background in a while, but it is kind of fun. Let's see. So I think I'm just gonna go straight into gray on this side. Watch, it's gonna be the same color I already had here. Oh, almost. It almost is the same gray. Good grief. Generic gray here. Like, just about is. Well, it's also gonna go into more tile patterns. Ah! Ah! Oh, that's not too bad, actually. Oh, there's something happening over here. Oops, correct? There we go. Oh, this is the part that takes the longest. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take me to do like all these little objects in the background. Fans and all that stuff, but not like the fandom fans, just the fans that blow away your troubles. Oh shoot, it is time for stretchies. Alright. We're making pretty good progress. It looks weird with all the little gray spots on it. Hopefully that'll look better once I fill those in. Thank you. I'm glad it's looking okay so far. I'm having fun with it anyway. It's nice to do some painting. I don't get to do that very often. Seems like that'll be a nice thing to do for the anniversary. Well, it's probably going to take me a little longer than I was anticipating. Again, I guess we'll see how long it takes to do like the background objects there. But I'm going to need more water, I think. So I'm going through it quickly. I really want to finish the next Livestream comic soon too. There's too much to do. At least I know this one has a due date. I want to finish it by the anniversary, so I gotta do that. Yeah, I'm glad it's looking okay so far. Might do some kind of like rim lighting on it on the edges too, around the black spots. Because everybody likes rim lighting. It makes things pop out and look neat. And hopefully it'll look really good with the characters on it too. I might do little outlines around them. Alright, be right back for one more stretch. And more water. Girl. It's like hot, but not quite hot enough for the AC. Just have the fan on. Oh, all right. Thanks a bunch for coming. Drink my water. Yeah, thanks a bunch for coming, and I hope you have a good day. Especially if you have to get up early. It's always a little tough. Okay. Maybe I should do all this stuff at the same rate, I guess. Depends. Oh, this is interesting pattern stuff going on here actually for this. What do we have going on here actually? Quite that green. This will be for Asbor's area. That back there. I'm just gonna try and make sure this extends around a bit. You know, do like, oh, here's the city, and oh, here's the Judgment Hall, and here's everything. Every little bit. Okay, to that end, I'm actually not certain what color I should be making all of this section, because it's a little hard to divide that up. I should go for like a gray, or what? Twitch, reload please. I'm bad. I'm stumped. There's not much in the way of like underspots for this. Actually, maybe we should just do more of what we have going on here. That might work best. I'm trying to figure out what color to make this thing down here. It's never quite clear anymore in this section, like what color it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's fun to do like weird little perspective things sometimes. I've definitely gotten used to like, if I want to do some really funky perspective stuff like I did in that one Eldritch Rune comic, just break out Storyboard Pro and use the perspective tools there, because it's like, okay, here's where you can draw in like, you know, 4-degree fisheye or whatever. Just ridiculously crazy stuff that makes it a lot easier to do stuff in weird perspectives, because it's a bit of a time saver. Well, actually, I do not use it that much for boarding, because you kind of cheat perspective a lot in boarding. It's more interesting about like what the composition is than whether it's technically correct or anything like that. Okay, then we'll probably just do a little bit of blending into that area. how to make it work out. The general red is probably okay. Yeah, it's a little bit too gray. But we'll stick with grays in this area. My wrist a little bit. I'm trying to paint very quickly. Might need to do like maybe a light spillover over here or something. But not quite what we're doing over here. I'm just kind of experimenting and seeing what I can get away with in this spot. Could be anything. And mix that. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this color. Mixy colors. See what we get. At least once I'm done with all these sections, I can move on to some other things. Like all these dang, little bits of background stuff I gotta work my way around. Some which will be harder than others. Oh, yeah, I didn't put the crickets away, so... Sorry if they're noisy. Probably a good thing if they're noisy, because, like, that means they're alive and kicking as opposed to just, I'm dying, Squirtle. So they're lively for when they get eaten by a dragon. Yeah, they're very noisy right now, so, I kind of forget sometimes to put them away, because I'm like, oh, I'm just super used to the noise. Hey, if they're nice ambience, then I won't say no to that. Should put like an elevator divider there or something, but I only have so much space. I think I have flowery in this section, don't I? Yes, I do. It's appropriate music. More blue. Why is this one so big when I click on it? Why are you so large? Three forms of audio going at once: music, crickets, and vocals. You are properly stimulated. There is now noise everywhere, but none of it's quite the same. Imagine this makes for some weird listening if you're not in that brain space, though, because, yeah, I realized, oh, the crickets are actually very loud. If they ever are too loud, let me know and I will go and move them to the bathroom so that they were not quite so noisy. But if people don't care, then I can just leave them there. And I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna start drawing. Here I go. Completely ignores crickets. Just chirp, 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 chirp. So all the male crickets going, ladies, 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 ladies. They're screaming for the ladies. I don't know, if I was a cricket, I don't know how I'd be able to hear any particular cricket over just like, imagine tons of men, you just walk down the street and they're all screaming, ladies at you! Non-stop. I don't know, that might drive me kind of nuts. Good thing I'm not a cricket. The crickets, they refuse to be silent. They're like, we will be heard. You will hear our siren calls before we die by being eaten alive. I'm sorry, crickets, that's why you're in my house. And most of them aren't even that smart enough to pick up on that. Like, literally, I'm sticking crickets, you know, into my dragon's face. They're like, okay, I guess I'll try and get away from that. You sure you don't want to try harder, buddy? Not usually. Let's see if I can do a little bit of something like this. Undertale Alfies would eat crickets? I don't know. I mean, she definitely eats, like, you know, weird stuff, but it's all, like, weird, you know, regular food. No! They cannot support the AI art. Alfies eat them all. He's like, okay, I'll help with that. Yeah, I don't know if Undertale Alfies would do that or not. I'm kind of guessing no, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows what I know? Okay, we might be close to finishing this. We gotta do the, this one had like little, weird shading colors. I guess you would at least find cricket flour kind of interesting. I've never tried it myself. Maybe someday I will. Cricket ramen. Could you make noodles out of cricket flour? I'm not sure if you can or not. Because I feel like with flour for noodles has to be a very particular kind of flour. And I'm not sure if you could make noodles out of flour from crickets. I mean, I guess maybe you could. I've never tried it. Well, because the thing with noodles is that noodles are generally made out of a kind of flour themselves. So, if you can make, like, if you can bake something with cricket flour, then could you create noodles or pasta out of cricket flour? Because it's all just flour, but I don't know if, like, the fact that it's cricket flour make it really hard to make it into pasta or noodles. Like, yeah, you could probably, like, put crushed up crickets on your ramen if you want. I don't think you probably would. It's not gonna taste very good, but, nothing's saying you can't. Wonder if I can, just do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Not quite. It's a little bit curved on the floor there. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming to the stream. Hello, Raiders. You're here in time to talk about crickets being noisy and me working on these backgrounds. Slowly yet surely. Making the progress I can. I don't know if it's gonna look very good. We'll try it and see it from a distance. See if it works. But yes, hello, hello. I'm doing something a little different from comics today. I'm actually painting for once. Dun dun dun. Come on. The tiles kind of already have that shading there, so it'd be nice to kind of include them. I'm working on a... I guess that works okay. I don't know. I'm working on a piece for Undertale's anniversary. Ooh, nice. That sounds fun. That sounds like a good time. Yeah, I like doing stuff for the anniversary, so I'm like, let's get some work done for the anniversary. So that's what I'm doing right now. And we're close to getting through these backdrops. I hope. Maybe I can do more of the, whoops. Got a light spilling over here. Orangey glow. And a little bit there too. That's not too bad. And I don't know how much we're doing with the grasses here. Yeah, always fun to try new games. I've definitely been enjoying Spirit Fair since I just started that Friday. That needs to be darker, I think. And this little section for... tiny section for Asgore's spot. Yeah, it was fun. I'm just waiting for it to make me cry at some point. I feel like that's happening in the future. Because it has to. Well, we're almost done with this, I think. At least this part. I'm gonna move on to some of the other background stuffs. Stoofs, I don't know. What am I saying? Yay! Kind of funky stuff going on here. I feel like the ruins area is kind of larger than I anticipated. Let's do a little bit of hopping over here. Let's transition between the two. Hopefully not too much. Hopefully I won't be like sobbing on screen, because that might be kind of embarrassing. I don't know, maybe people would like that. Yeah, I like to go for a while. I'm probably going to go until about 5 o'clock my time, so let's probably keep going for a while. As long as I'm able to, anyway. Knock on wood that doesn't crap out on me or anything. Don't give me no blue screens of death. I don't want it. Yeah, I want to try and go until 5 o'clock. Okay, cool. I think we got through all that anyway. let's see about doing some of the smaller things. Can't believe that was all in one layer. Good grief. Oh, well, I got space to change it if I want to. Aww. I feel like there's probably a time I cried on stream. I cried on stream. I can't remember what it was. I've not played Scarlet Nexus though. I'd love to hear you sob on screen. Oh no. Oh no. Then again, I was like crying laughing at one point when I was playing Stanley Parable. Why are they squish? Doesn't make sense. Don't make no sense. Aww. Across the Spider-Verse, so good though. It's so good. Put the black back on here actually. See how that goes. Aww. Aww. I'm gonna. Oh, actually, let's a little bit more like this. I'm gonna try and use a much more stark thing for these backgrounds. Usually use my oil heavy flow dry brushes. Maybe not. No. I know. The poor kiddos. It's a sad time. It's just a sad situation. I have heard that theory. I don't think Chris is tonight myself. But I have heard that theory. I just don't think story-wise it makes sense for Chris to be the knight. Also, I am thinking back to like how... I mean, it kind of depends on, like, what the, you know, the stuff is there, because by that logic, anybody is a knight. I think knight has a different connotation than just somebody who opens fountains. Because, like, Susie is listed as a knight, but nobody would say she is the knight. So I think it's less... So somebody who opens fountains, it's more like, who is the person that Queen and King are talking about? I have heard all those. My thoughts are that it is Garrison's soul attached to an object. Not his hammer, though. Something else. But yeah, but technically they all have those abilities. If you can open a fountain, then like you can do that, and all of them can technically do that because like Lightners can do that. Egg. Yeah, I'm neutral on chess theory. I think I'd be like, oh, that'd kind of be a neat aesthetic thing if everybody fell into that, but I don't think it's actually like a predictor of story stuff. Egg. Oh, I find the egg in the next chapter. I'm not very good at finding the eggs. Yeah, what is up with Garrison? What's bothering me is, like, I'm pretty certain that there is, like, really important lore and, like, backstory for the world on, like, the second floor library that the big blue bird is blocking. He's only gonna move like one shelf over every chapter. Well, yeah, that's what Queen said. She said, if you have determination, then you can make a fountain. And she pretty much said all lighteners have determination. So any lightener can make a fountain. Move the bird with force. Push him! Out of my way, Birdo! Get out of here. I need to read those books. There's lore. There's important lore you're blocking with your big face. Your abnormally sized face. Yeah, exactly. Out of my way. I gotta learn the lore. Especially I'm like, I love the books in the library, especially the ones on the upstairs. You're not gonna get to see what they are, though. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. We are still working on this stuff. Now we're making some progress on these parts. I gotta do that little spider web there too. Forgot about that. Now, I'm not sure what you mean by reverse. I don't know what you mean by that. Bricks, 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 bricks. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, I do think Chris was quieter and, like, Azrael Solent took charge more often. Yeah, I feel like Chris feels like they are in Azrael's shadow. If they want to be more like their big popular brother. I don't know about that. I think Chris has slightly different things that are bothering them. But they seem to actually really like Azrael and hold him in very high regard. So I'm not sure what Azrael would ask of them that would really bother them. Especially since they seem willing to do like a lot of weird stuff. Uh-oh, it's time for the ads, which means it's time for my break. See how this is looking? It's not too bad. We're making some progress. Yeah, we don't know how Azrael is in Deltarune. We just know that one, he's a bit of an achiever. Like an overachiever. Two, everyone in town seems to really like him and think he's just the coolest, nicest guy. And, three, Chris seems to agree with that. Although, apparently there's something in his room in the Queen's Castle which makes Susie like, you better hope I never meet him, so wonder what that's about. Dude, it's a good idea. Susie's like, huh? But other stuff we know about Azrael. Yeah, we know he sang in the choir. And he seems like a genuinely nice sibling. Especially with the thing of like, he used the knockoff controller while Chris used the regular game controller when they were playing games. So little things like that. Seems to indicate that he was actually just a genuinely nice guy. And Chris misses him a lot. But yeah, Azzy, what's in your life? I feel like he's probably a lot more of a dork than the town like sees him as, and that's a side of him that Chris knows, that he's just like, yeah, he comes off as like the golden boy, but he's also like weird and questionable sometimes because he is a teenager. But I don't think that's like secretly evil. I think he's just has layers to him that most of the town doesn't know about. Immodest dragon on the cover. Alright, be right back for one more stretch. Okie doodle, I'm returned. Yeah, I don't think he's outright evil. I think he's just more of a dork than people know. I'm more of a doofus and a dingleberry. He's got like this kind of a bit of reputation to keep up, that Chris is the one who knows that more of what he's actually like, which is a doofus. Part of me kind of wants like Arrow Ace Azrael, because I think that would be funny, but I don't know if it'll happen. Alas and alack. Yeah, we haven't really had like something in the way of like really threatening villains or anything like that, which I feel like Toby should be able to play more with sometime, but it won't quite happen. Yay! Oh, the channel points. You're rich in channel points. And I still gotta figure out what to do with those. When will I get to that? Sometime. Some way. It will be gotten to. People will be able to trade them in for cool things. Alright, we'll do like a little green stuff over that. Yeah, exactly. There's never anything where, like, regarding Azrael that Chris, like, feels uncomfortable about them. They just kind of feel like, you know, sad. They miss their brother. I know, sometimes just like, what do I do with these channel points? I don't know. I'm sorry. You start getting them. I gotta figure out ways to use them. I don't keep streaming all that much, so. Okay, let's throw in a little spider web here. I'm sure he'll change a little bit at college. I'm not sure in what way he will. But that's part of growing up. And you go to college and you get a little bit different. As Chris is like, I'm still in the small town. Even Toriel's like, oh, I wonder if he'll like coming back to this small town after being away at university. We'll have to see. I hope we at least like hear something from him soon. Like even like at the end of chapter 3, we get like a phone call from him or something. Like, hey, I'm coming home soon. Hang out. Like, be like, please. Give us something. We want to see the fluffiest of the boys. Yes, come back more open about being a dork. Exactly. That's the way. Accept your dorkness. No, Azrael, you are the dork. Stuff here. Especially imagine if he's coming from like a very small town. There's certain expectations on him that might not be there in a college setting. Like, oh, thank goodness I don't have to be perfect for everybody, because if I'm not, things start falling apart. There's honestly probably a way that he feels, considering, well, parents getting divorced and friends aren't hanging out anymore, and my little sibling clearly has problems, and I gotta take care of this. So going to college, probably like, okay, I don't have to be responsible for everything going right in this town. Yeah, everything with Des, all that business. Which I think Chris feels responsible for that. Yeah, just please give us a bit more with Delta and Asriel. Let us see what he's like. Especially since, like, I'm sure that anybody who likes Papyrus is like, please get back here, Asriel, because Sans made the joke of, oh yeah, maybe you'll see my brother around when your brother gets back. And it's like, oh, gosh darn it. So I'm not going to see much Papyrus until we see Asriel. Let us see the brothers. We need the siblings. The skeleton ones and the fluffy ones. Let's see. Maybe just look from a distance. Probably gonna do some kind of like shading from there. I'm going back to the squashed flowers, which are squashed for reasons unknown. I'm sure you can do it. It can be done. Just gotta tackle it. Even when it's spooky. Even when it's intimidating. Frisk has been squashed. They have been flattened. They are in Flatland. How did this happen? They have been squashified. They have been reduced. Yes, I have been reading Twin Runes. It's very good. I'm having a fun time with it. It's funny. And cute. So, yes, I'm reading it. It's a good time. Good stuff. Yes, I read the newest one where Frisk and Chris were like, wait a minute, the player's gone. Ah! The player has vanished off somewhere. Can't have players in the comic because it's hard to do that kind of stuff as evidenced with Paper Trail. It's hard. Okay, they're supposed to have like white tops, aren't these flowers supposed to have those white tops? I feel like they are. Oh, white centers to them. Let's see how this looks. Yes, I did read the newest one. Yeah, because I follow them on Tumblr, so I've also been following like their asks about it. And they said, yeah, basically, players not present. So, but they only just now figured that out. Which makes sense. It would be very hard to do the player and that kind of stuff. And people ask, oh, the player isn't on Eldritch Rune? I'm like, nah, player's just not there. It's just easier to not have to deal with that. Nice. Yeah, I think I've seen that one around too, but I haven't actually gone and read it. Maybe I should do that at some point. Go and read it. But I have seen it around the Tumblr timelines. Do a little bit of extra color here. very yellow. I mean, I can do a shadow on that at some point. Shadowland. Okay, where's a rock? I know I had a rock. I saved a rock. Didn't I save a rock? No, apparently I did not. Okay, I was gonna make it up. I make you up, rock. But yeah, that's another Deltarune comic that has been running. And there was a Delta experiment for a while, but that one kind of stopped. That's okay. That happens sometimes. You spread the propaganda. Artists like when that happens too. It's a fun time. How does rocks work? Purpley thing on them. Okay, that's a rock. One would hope. And get some leaves going. Almost done with ruined stuff. I had no clue the flowers are that yellow. Some stuff just really stands out. Just pops right out. Yeah. Pops out of the ground like daisies. Oh, I haven't seen that one. I think there's also like there's like the Chris Performed Surgery one I've seen around a bit. This is pure black, so let's not do that. Add a bit more color to it. What's that one about? I think it's been around Reddit, and I think it's basically to save. It's a Sprite comic, or do you mean New Step 2? I don't know which one you're asking about. So I haven't heard of that one either. That one, I don't know. I know a hand plate's just finished recently. Okay, I cannot answer that because I don't know what that's about either. That is news to me as well. Okay, well there's a few comics out there like that. Like I know that Over the Void's kind of in a similar state. Because that's always a fun thing to do with those characters. Okay. And then we'll do a little leaf litter down here at the bottom. Maybe I should turn this part off. Leaf litter! Nice, nice. So much creativity out there. I appreciate it. I am trying to catch up on more AU stuff. So I'm usually pretty bad about keeping up with those. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and keep up with some series that I like. So I need to do that. Alright guys. Keeping up with Inverted Fate and Unexpected Guests. I started Insomnia. I need to check back in with that and see if that's updated at all. And where's some other ones? Finally, I'm back to try and rewatch Underverse because I started to watch that one time. I didn't finish it, so I'm like, okay, I'll try and try that again. So I'm in the middle of watching that again. And there were some other ones. Leaf. Yeah, I think I got a recent happened upon a recent link recently that, yeah, I've said recently too many times about just a bunch of popular Undertale AUs that had links to it, so I was like, oh good, here's a space I can go if I want to try something out and see how it is. Though most of them are Undertale, there's just not that many AU stuff for Deltarune so far. Maybe that will change in the future as we get more. Okay. Yeah. So I'm catching up with Underverse. I don't know a lot of what's going on with like all the extra Sanses because I'm not really a part of that. And I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying the animation and stuff. Yeah, I understand why there's not that much AU stuff so far. Yeah, maybe that'll change in the future. I'll keep drawing stuff for it apparently, because I can't stop. Yeah, sometimes you like start a project and then you kind of get overwhelmed with it and you're like, oh, I can't do this. And it sucks, because, yeah, it sucks, but that's life sometimes. Can't do much about that. Well, those leaves turned out okay, actually. It's not too bad. Okay dokie. Yeah, I'm always impressed by the people that can make really nice music. I'm like, you're so cool, I can't compose music at all. I need my water. I do want to do a future big project that'll have music and voice acting and stuff. But I gotta save for it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm saving for it. Okay, here's the door. We can work on that part. Wait, there's supposed to be a door there. Where's the door? It's gotta be the same color as this, I guess. Yes. It's because this is all the... Oh, good grief, this is really the same color as Ruins, isn't it? Yeah, seriously. I just don't listen to radio much because I'm like, I'm sorry, all the stuff I want to listen to is just like by mostly amateur artists online. Because it's good. Yeah, the one issue, like, I love drawing comics. I used to do a lot of fan fiction, but now I've just ended up doing comics all the time because I am used to visual storytelling cues. The issue with it is that it's very time consuming. It's a lot more time consuming than it is to write. So that is why a lot of comic projects do not get finished, because it's just very, very, very time consuming, like infinitely more work to draw something than to write something. It's not like writing isn't work. It's just that, like, it is more labor to draw than to write, if that makes sense. Okay. That's just the nature of it. Same reason, like, animation is even harder, because that's even more labor than just drawing. Even though they're very similar aspects, just it's very time-intensive stuff. So you gotta set aside the time for it. Trying to a little bit funky here. I think sometimes that's easy for people to forget, and it's like, why is it taking so long for this comic stuff to come out? It's like, because it really takes a lot of time to draw something, and unless that's your job, you don't have time for it. You gotta make the time where you can. Again, I'm hoping to do another Eldertrune thing by midweek, but it really depends on if I get lucky with finishing the stuff I have to do for it. So I have to do the character shading and effects and lettering for it still. A little bit ways off. this up as I go. Something here. Honestly, I think I need some a little bit of color over here, I think. The fluffy goat. Yeah, that's kind of an old fanfic thing. I think that's been around for a while, where people will just like, I don't want to use their pronouns, so I'm going to use fancy nouns for them. Which I think you can do a little bit, but not probably too much. Yeah, it's just fun to describe characters sometimes, though. Yeah, that kind of trope has been around for a very long time. Very, very, very long time. Better than, you know, back when people used to be like, use orbs to describe eyes. They're cerulean orbs. That was a thing. Maybe that still happens, I don't know. But, back in the day, you saw a whole lot of cerulean orbs. Emerald orbs. Orb. the depressed child. No. Wouldn't they be the weird kid? That's what most people describe them as. The weird kid. The creepy kid. Now you're the creepy kid right in front of me. The human. It feels like that's a phrase more for Frisk than them, though. Because, yeah, they're the only human in town, but they're not the only human that, like, exists in the world. Just a weird little human. They're the only one in town. Why did I... What's going on here? Trying to fix that. Okay, it's a little bit better. Can't remember it was on this door because it's supposed to be closed. We'll figure it out. Might just be a closed door. Seriously, was there like a... Was the Delta Rune on the door at this point? I can't remember. I cannot remember. It's okay for now, but... I don't know. A little bit of this too. Yeah, I just can't remember if it was on the door or not. I really should have just looked it up. Maybe I should just do it anyway, just in case. Just in case. Won't hurt. Where'd my brush go? These runes are everywhere. That's reverse, isn't it? That's not the correct ones. Those triangles down, that triangle up. There we go. Middle triangle pointing down. Ooh, bread bowls are delicious. I love a good bread bowl. Thank you. I'm just have unreasonable amounts of energy. It's stupid. Or not very good for my wrist anyway. Okay. Need trees. Tweez. Not those trees. These trees. These trees, please. Yeah, sadly, comics are very time consuming. It is kind of interesting how, like, comics often became the medium for expression in Undertale as opposed to other fandoms. No! No, we should not be having wrist braces that young. No! Don't do that! Don't do what I did! Don't fall into that trap! It's not good! Also, Donut World. I want some donuts. Donuts sound great. Still always found it very, like, when I first walked out of, ruins into Snowden, I'm like, why are there trees and snow in the underground? This makes no sense. No, they need to teach us to take care of ourselves when we're doing art and stuff. Magic! Exactly, it is magic. Do you believe in magic? In a young girl's heart. Yeah, I think that pretty much was the explanation, was it's magic. You don't have to explain it. Get over it. It's magic. It's magic. Doesn't obey science. Screw you, science. We have trees underground and there's snow on them. Oh, there's a little bit of white there. I always like how when you look at like pictures of snow at night, I love pictures of snow at night where like it's shockingly bright. I don't know, I just always thought that was pretty cool. The weather duo does not stick together. They're wrong. Okay, need more water. Need more water. Oh no, it's already my time. I have time for, I think, one more session before I gotta head off. So we got the first section done, now we gotta get through this section. The sun just switched sides. Oh brother. So yeah, I'll do one more section after this, and then we'll call it a day. Let's see how much progress we can make in terms of coloring in these guys. I'm having a good time trying all this out. I did remember to save. I save all the time. That's actually one of the reasons why I like doing the stretches, is because it forces me to save at least every half hour, if not more often than that. So I always remember to save right when I'm stopping. Goodness knows I get mad if I lose like 5 minutes of work. I'm like, can't believe I lost 5 minutes, this is the worst. Even though it's definitely could be worse. Oh boy. Stretch. Stretch. Maybe there's another file that needs saving. Yeah, I think that's about what that text says. gotta go back in and add all the characters and all this stuff. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Ooh, stretchies. Ooh, yummy. Alright, one more stretch and I'll be back for one more session with this. Okay, I return for one more session. Oh, I'm sure there's a bunch of beautiful animations for that battle. I think that was one of the first ways people were just like really trying to get their feelings out about that whole section, whereas we're gonna make these gorgeous animations for it now. Like I know there's I know there's at least one, but I'm pretty sure there's more. It would only make sense. Definitely a lot of animations of Sans' fight. Goodness gracious, there's a lot of those. More of that. That. Those things have so many views. But they're also super cool, so it deserves it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one. I probably have at some point, even just in passing. Here, iTunes. This software is available from Apple. Get out of here. Okie dokie. Out of some trees. I was just looking from a distance. Just to make sure these all look kind of okay. 25% is usually what's going to be it anyway. So, okay. Apples are delicious, though. Oh, here we go. The snow is like a whiter colored snow than it is on everything else. Do that on the inside. Thank you. I'm glad it's looking good. I was like, I hope this isn't too like complicated looking or anything like that. Thank you. I'm literally just color picking from like everything that's already here. Like you'd think, oh, these sprites are, you know, like super bright. Maybe they won't work, but it actually works pretty well. So, yay! Again, I'll probably go over this with like some overlays or something to kind of solidify the colors more into a unified mass than a bit more hodgepodge like they are now. I'll do that once all the actual base colors are down. The power of overlay layers compels you. building up there. Yes, no. If you could be one breed of reptile, what would you be? I don't know, they all look pretty cool. Leopard geckos are cute. Bearded dragons are cute. It'd be cool to be a crocodile or an alligator. Just chill out in a pond all day and occasionally eat a small animal. Sounds great. Sounds terrific. Yep, chilling and killing. That's the reptile way. And it's like mostly chill, occasional kill. Okay, let's see. Actually, I should probably do a little shady over here. Just trying to unify this side a bit. There we go, that's a little better. Over here too. Quite like it. There we go. Yeah, it's once a month, and you're like, oh, if you're a snake, you only have to do that like once a month. If you were another kind of reptile, you'd probably have to do it more often. The snakes are like, I'm gonna get you once a month, and after that, don't bother me. I'd be a chillin' snake. I love killing once a month. Or you could be like an egg eater snake, and then you have to do even less work. Just every once in a while you find some eggs and you're like, eggs for me! And the bird's like, no, not my eggs, and you're like, haha, eggs for me! Bell Friday. Okay. Almost done with this thing at least. I can do a little bit more. Darkness over here. Yeah. We can do a little bit of extra blue. It's kind of a, again, unify it a bit more. Alright, thanks a bunch for coming. Is that a Down Under reference? Joanna! Those are not Joanna eggs! That's one of my favorite movies. Mostly because I love the flying scene with Marahute so much. That was like my inspiration, was that scene. Joanna, did you take one of my eggs? I did, it did. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not even kidding where, like, that flying scene with Marahute was, like, formative. Ridiculously formative for me. Shaped my personality and art career. And then I felt so bad, because, like, I knew that Glenn Keane had animated Marahute. And I got to meet him once at a convention for animation stuff, because I used to go to those a lot more often. And he was doing some signings, and I was, very new to the industry at the time. And so I was like, I'm going to ask him for Marahute, because I love Rescuers Down Under so much. And I'm like, finally got to, come up for, the signing. And I was like, hey, can you please do Marahute from Rescuers Down Under? And he was like, who? And I was like, oh no. I'm like, you know, the big eagle from Rescuers Down Under, please? And he's like, okay. I think he was kind of like, did a silhouette of an eagle. He did not remember Marahute at all. I was sad. So I'm like, I know everybody like knows him for like Beast and all that other stuff, but I'm like, Marahute! That was, again, formative. And yep, I mean, I guess that's the kind of thing that's going to eventually happen. If you work that long in the industry, you just can't remember everything you did. But I was a little sad. I figured out, like, oh, okay, you know, it's just something different, too. You know, everybody's asking him for well-known characters like Beast and all that stuff. And here's something different. And he did not remember Marahute. So, that made me a little sad. I guess nothing to be done about that. I don't remember where I have that, I have that drawing in some notebook somewhere. Okay, here's the thing. Should I just... Because the snowman just has, like, a regular smile on his face. Wonder if I should do, like, a coal smile or, like, a smile into the snow like this. That's probably a little better. Snowman wants to go on a snow venture. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. I'm not going to be drawing for that much longer. Probably about 15 more minutes. But I'm slowly making progress on this thing for the Undertale anniversary I've been working on. Which will hopefully look good when it's done. We'll find out. Let's see. I guess we'll work on Grill Bees next. Mr. Snowman, snow me a snow. Make it the flurriest that it can go. I guess. That's my snowman song. Yeah, September 15th is coming up. It's coming up fast. Oh, that's not right. Get out of here. Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. I don't do much painting, so it's kind of nice to do something a little different now and then, even if it is taking me longer than usual. That's the one problem with doing like storyboards and comics is I'm like, now my patience is ruined. I'm like, no, this is taking too long. I can't believe this is over an hour long. Like, yeah, that's how things usually work when you're drawing. Yeah, hopefully look at when it's done. I gotta do all the characters as well. I've sketched them, but they haven't been added yet. Let's see here. It's probably gonna be another that. Yeah, that's how long painting used to take, honestly. It would take years. I don't have the patience for that at all anymore. If a painting takes longer than an hour, I'm like, it's taking so long. It's not how it works. So I admire people that can do very, very long, extended work on one piece. Whereas I just blaze through as many pieces as quickly as I can. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not making progress if I'm still on the same painting. Especially nowadays where, like, people don't stop to look at paintings, you know, for a very long amount of time. They just kind of glance and go. And it's like, I put all this effort in and you didn't look at it. That's not very fun. Actually, there's probably going to be snow on top of the roof here is my guess. Let me show you. Let me show you that first. Thank you! Spending the channel points. Again, I will work out what to do with channel points. I feel like the best thing I can do with channel points is, like, at least for, I don't know what I could do for, like, during my game streams, but during, like, art streams, it can be a thing of, like, hey, turn in 10,000 channel points, and you'll get a doodle. I'll make a big doodle page, and everybody can add, I'll slowly add doodles to it, until we have a full doodle page, and then we'll, like, post it or something like that. So I just need to, like, go actually and set that up, which I've been super busy, so I haven't had much time to do it. But someday, I will. How are my balls? They're okay, because usually what I use balls for, they have like these little, either tennis balls or rubber balls that I use to, give my arms little massages when I'm doing my stretches, because you need to massage the muscle. But otherwise, it gets all tense, and then it sucks to draw. So, basically I either use a tennis ball, or, I don't know what you call them. There's like, basically these little plastic balls. You can get it like, you know, the drugstore or whatever. They're like multicolored. As long as they don't deflate too much, which they eventually will. You can just massage your muscles with those. And that's what I do. So in terms of that, those are fine. Now is this... I feel like this would be this color. This is clearly sticking out from somewhere. Are you gonna do stuff for bits? I need to look up what I can do for bits, because apparently, like, what you can do for bits is kind of restricted. So I thought, oh, that could be a thing I can do a sketch request for, and apparently you can't really use them for that. I think they're literally just like, if you want to do a little one-time donation, but don't want to, you know, subscribe, then you can cheer with bits. Or I think if you like, especially it's useful if you're like, you know, doing like a big thing, big push with a game stream or something like that. Like you're trying to achieve some big goal. The bits are useful for cheering you on for that. Hello, hello. Welcome back, even though, yeah, I'm almost done. We are going to be finished in about 10 minutes. Maybe 15 minutes or so. Cool, I gotta finish. Actually, I wonder if I can a little bit over here. And all the snow up on the stuff. Too lazy to brush it off his roof. No. Make sure I'm doing this right. Well, they restrict what you can use bits for, apparently. Like, they don't want you using it for, like, pay me bits and I'll reward you with something, because then it's just, like, kind of a pay-to-play kind of thing, and I don't think that's quite what they're going for. I don't know, when I was trying to read up on, like, what can you use bits for? And I was like, apparently not little sketch requests. Doesn't quite seem to work for that, apparently. So that's why I wasn't sure what to do yet for bits. I guess it would make sense if they, like, you know, restrict that a little bit, just because, like, they don't want it to kind of turn into, like, a gambling sort of thing. I can imagine it could quickly go that direction if, you know, you weren't careful. What's going on with these stairs? I don't know. I'm just trying to copy the colors. Grillby's does look very cozy. I do like in Deltarune, just for some reason Grillby's name is scratched out and just Sans is there. It's just very silly. Okay. Facebook, stop sending me all your silly little notices. This person made a post. Thanks, Facebook. I'll check that when I'm actually on Facebook. Me. Oh, Grillby is too. My guess is he's just, like, in the city rather than, like, in hometown. He's just busy. He's too big in the big city. So people are like, where's Muffet? And all that stuff. I'm like, Muffet's probably not going to show up because Muffet was a Kickstarter goal. Or a Kickstarter reward. So, for Undertale. So that's probably not going to translate over to Deltarune in any way. So we're probably never going to see Muffet. Yeah, we just moved out of hometown, and Sam's like, well, I'm going to take over this store, but I'm too lazy to change the sign. So I'm just going to scribble out part of the name and write my own in. Close enough. Especially since we know that Sans and then moved in recently, so didn't have time to make a nice new sign. We just kind of appropriated it. Just took it for himself. Get me a gift on Pokemon Go. I feel like the window's kind of lopsided here. Oh well. Hopefully it's not too noticeable. Yeah, it does kind of sound like something you would do. Just like, oh, you're moving out? Okay, I'll take over the store. Yeah. Okay, I'm not really gonna try and work hard to change the name for it, though. He's just the janitor, after all. That's not his responsibility. Not for him to worry about. Sure, mister, I'm just the janitor. Snow on top of this building. No, Grillby's is probably one of the more complicated things in here. Well, maybe. I don't know. I gotta figure out what I'm doing with those dang stairs that got messed up. Well, that sounds like a fun time. I wish I could just make clay ducks with Toby and Timmy. Sounds nice. Let's make some little clay ducks. Sounds great. Yeah, this is why Deltarune isn't out yet. He's busy making some clay ducks. That makes sense. Priorities, people. That's why he's not doing anything for the anniversary. He's got to go make some little clay ducks. This is very important. This is about most important. They're busy making duck rune. Exactly. Duck rune. Woo. Every day they're out there making duck rune. Woo. So that the duck thrash machine has its own adventures now. Incredible duck rune adventures. The best kind of adventures. Why are you stalking them through the window if they were trying to make their little ducks out of clay? They're little clay ducks. I'm gonna have to add a little more of an outline here. I keep pressing the wrong hotkey. Why must I press the wrong hotkey all the time? Actually, I don't want this color. I don't know what to do with that. How do stairs work? I don't know. Magic. Magical stairs. I'm gonna bump into the next thing anyway. That is a crazy dream. I wish I had cool dreams like that. The last time I've had a nice, very cool dream. They're always just a little bit of spoopy. A bit eepy. I keep having ones with pet distress. I really don't like those ones at all. They are my least favorite. Myself to write grillbees on top of grillbees. Not grillbees without grillbees. Watch me have my mental breakdown here at the end. I can't trace a line. I think it's close enough. Okay. I'm gonna have the snow come up over that a little bit. Oh, that's no fun. I don't like anxiety dreams. Not great. Dude, I have had school dreams after being graduated from school 20 years ago. Like, they don't stop. I'm like, why am I having, oh no, I'm having a dream. I'm late to math class. I haven't done my math homework. What am I gonna do? And I wake up and I'm like, I don't need to go to math class. I'm 40 years old. Get out of here. Well, that is a relief though. You're like, oh, thank God I don't have to go to math class. Apparently, no, you just keep having school dreams well into adulthood. So, look forward to that. Okay, I know it's the ads, but I'm gonna at least do the grillbees on the top. Maybe a little shading as well. Exactly. It's like, where's my locker? You don't have a locker. You fool. You're in your 30s. Stop it. It don't matter. Alright, the question is, I think I'm going to do this on a separate layer just in case. So yeah, if you don't like school dreams, too bad. You're going to have those for the rest of your life. That's really got to say something about how we deal with, like, school stuff, I feel like. It's so stressful that you have nightmares of it well into adulthood. Yeah, I don't know what that says about us. Oh, that's not good at all. Ugh, I'm sorry. I've had dreams kind of along those lines, but never in school. Because when I was going to school, that was actually not a worry the way it is now, and it pisses me off that it is. But I've never had a stress dream like that. Because again, when I was in school, we didn't have that kind of stuff. That was not as big a worry as it is now. Oh, okay, that actually huh, cool. I was actually kind of correct with that. Neat. Oh, ew, work-related dreams with fast food. That's harsh. The dreams I've been having lately that I really do not like having is, pet dreams where I'm like, it's either Alfie's or other pets that I've been, like, I'm supposed to be taking care of them, and I realize that I've forgotten that I've been neglecting them. I hate those dreams so much. I hate them. There we go. It's terrifying. Okay, I think I might do a little bit more shady over here just to pop this window out a bit. Okay, there we go. Finally got grillies done at least. I hate neglected animal dreams. They're the worst. I don't like them. Okay. This is about where I should be stopping, I think. We made some pretty good progress. Is this 25%? Yay! We still haven't gotten any of the characters yet, but also probably take the least amount of time compared to everything else. But yeah, we're making some progress. Still got a bunch of the backdrops to do. I hope I can get this finished by the 15th, along with all the other stuff I want to do. But yeah, at least we got all the base background stuff done. Then we got to do the more complicated little background things. But yeah, progress. I actually might do. Thank you. Glad you think it looks cool. Yeah, like I'll turn on some other layers here, like sketches for that, and then we got the characters on top of that. So those will be added in as well. So it might end up looking a little bit complicated by the time it's done, but thought it'd be like a cute little like diorama style thing going on. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Yay! I can still paint mostly. Yay! It's nice to have some progress. But yeah, I might actually work on this a little bit more on Wednesday night if I have time. Again, I have a little bit more time now than I did previously. Now that I've gotten through the roughs for work. So if I get everything else done that I need to on time, then we might continue this on a Wednesday night stream. I think that might be the case. So hopefully that'll happen. If not, then it won't, but I'm hoping it will. But yeah, in the meanwhile, we're coming along. Yay! It is fun to paint. You need to do it more often, so it's nice to have an excuse to do it. Yeah, thanks so much for coming to the stream, everybody. I super appreciate you being here and getting to talk about silly things the whole time. It makes me very nice and focused, and I get through a lot at once, which is always nice, which is why I like streaming. So yeah, if I don't see you on Wednesday night for more of this, there'll be more Spiritfarer on Friday night. So yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the weekend and a good week ahead. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. I will talk to you all later. Alright, take care. And also, thank you for the new follows and new subs. I super appreciate it. Alright, I will see you all later.